XXXTentacion, I'm getting that wrong, I know. Rapper accused of violent crimes, shot dead at 20. Okay, so let's get a little bit controversial about this. We'll go through the article, and then I'll tell you what I think. So let's jump into it. Joshua Offrey, the rapper and singer known as XXXTentacion, I might be mispronouncing, whose surge in popularity in the last year and a half included #1 album, came as he was facing accusations of violent crimes against women, was shot and killed outside a motorsports store in Deerfield Beach, Florida, on Monday afternoon. He was 20. The Broward Sheriff's Office confirmed the victim was Mr. Offrey. Videos taken at the scene on Monday and shared on social media, which obviously we won't be showing, showed the rapper's slumped body in the driver's seat of the black BMW sports car as the bystander attempted to take his pulse. TMZ first reported the news of the shooting. Mr. Offrey had been approached by two armed suspects shortly before 4 p.m. in what appeared to be a robbery, the sheriff's office said. Okay, you're not really, but okay, let's... I'm sorry, if it's a robbery, why didn't they steal the car? But anyway. At least one of the suspects fired a gun and struck the rapper before fleeing in a dark-coloured SUV. So it was a robbery that they didn't rob anybody with. Who goes to rob someone and then doesn't rob them? Just saying. Sounding a little Seth Rich here, isn't it? When someone dies and it's a robbery and it wasn't really a robbery, but moving along. Mr. Offrey was transported to a local hospital just after 5:30 p.m. The authorities said he had been pronounced dead. In the last 18 months, Tentacion quickly became one of the popular music's most controversial and, in some circles, revealed figures. In early 2017, Look at Me, a Brady classic distorted song, became the first breakthrough hit of the SoundCloud rap movement. But at the time it was soaring in popularity, XXXTentacion was in jail following his arrest of charges including aggravated battery of a pregnant victim. Wow. And false imprisonment. By the time he was released from jail in March of last year, Look at Me was climbing to the Billboard Top Hot 100. A month later, it would be peaked at number 34, cementing the rapper's place as a distributor whose serious personal issues only led to more attention and, for some, soared up his outlaw mystique. Mr. Offrey was born on January 23rd, 1998 in Plantation, Florida, and was raised predominantly by his grandmother, so, you know, no father figure in the image, but anyway. Had multiple scuffs with the law, no father figure in the picture still. In 2013, he began recording and releasing music in earnest following a stint in Juvie Detention Center. Over the next 2 years, he self-released several projects, both as solo artist and as a member of the Members Only Collective. Ironically, his music was a foundation to the Rory genre-crashing approach that became popular on the music streaming service SoundCloud over the past 3 years. Of the artists who got their start in that scene, he was one of the most commercially successful. His debut album 17 was released last August and has been certified gold. In March, he released his second album, which made his debut #1 on the Billboard album chart. At the time of his death, Mr. Offrey was awaiting trial on charges of battery, false imprisonment, and witness tampering. Lovely guy, isn't he? He pleaded not guilty. Of course he did, because he wouldn't want to go to jail. In a disposition ahead of the trial, as well as an interview early this month, Mr. Offrey's one-time girlfriend said she was a victim of frequent domestic abuse from him. His favourite thing was to just backhand my mouth, she told the Miami News Times. Obviously taking what she said with a grain of salt, but there are pictures of that, so... That always left welts inside my lips. She said the violence culminated in an attack in October 2016 while she was pregnant, during which Mr. Onfray punched, strangled, kicked and headbutted her, she said. Mr. Onfray then took her cell phone and moved her to an associate's home for 2 days before she escaped. Mr. Onfray was arrested the next morning and ultimately charged with aggravated battery of a pregnant victim, domestic battery by strangulation, false imprisonment and witness tampering. Roger Gina, I might be mispronouncing, the proprietor of the website Marxist Guerrilla, which chronicles the SoundCloud scene, said that XXXTentacion was both an early beacon for the burgeoning brand of underground hip-hop and his most polarizing figure. It was always the internal struggle for me. He's so popular and shed light on this scene, but he's been accused of these terrible things, Mr. Guino said. Taking into account what he had been accused of during his music was still incredibly authentic. His true self bleeds through into his lyrics and his music. Mr. Guino added, wanting somebody to be held accountable for their actions doesn't mean you want them to be killed in the streets, which obviously, yeah, I agree with. The diverse terms of XXXTentacion's rise only seem to abode in his devoted followers. Kids just represent from him so strongly, Mr. Guino said. They wanted to defy him and believe the allegations aren't true. That builds the strongest fan base. XXXTentacion rarely gave interviews, but he often used social media to communicate directly to his fans. In a video posted to Instagram Live featured, he spoke about what he hoped his impact would be. If I'm going to die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy, or they found some sort of answers or resolve in my life, regardless of the negativity around my name, regardless of the bad things people say to me. XXXTentacion was also at the center of an industry uproar last month when Spotify, the leading music streaming service, said it would stop promoting artists whose real-life conduct it found to be hateful. Which, to be honest, I genuinely disagree with. Look, yeah, he was an arsehole. He wasn't a nice person, sure. But I think he still had the right to play his music and display his music. I'm pro-free speech, and I think he still deserved that platform, regardless of what he was like as a person. Along with R. Kelly, who faced decades of allegations regarding sexual abuse, Spotify cited XXXTentacion as someone whose songs would be removed from the company's influential playlists. But following the backlash that included Kendrick Lamar's label TDE, which had censored a super sensitive topic, Spotify rescinded the policy and 3 weeks later restored XXXTentacion's hit Sad to its prominent place on the playlist. Sad, which was deceptively bouncy chorus about suicide, had been streamed more than 270 million times on the service and another 174 million on YouTube, and currently sits at number 51 on the Billboard Hot 100 after peaking at the top 10 early this year. Mr. Lamar was one of many older establishment artists who expressed admiration for XXXTentacion's music despite his charges. Listening to this album, if you feel anything, Mr. Lamar wrote on Twitter last year, raw thoughts. Following news of XXXTentacion's death, the rapper J. Cole wrote on Twitter, enormous talent and limitless potential and strong desire to be a better person. God bless his family, friends and fans. Well, I definitely disagree with the wanting to be a better person. But anyway. Okay, so what's my takeaway from all this? Look, this guy was a piece of shit. I'm just going to call it. He was a wife beater. Or girlfriend beater. He beat his pregnant girlfriend. And I'm sorry, these people that want to sit here and make the argument, oh, you got to separate the artist from the person. You know who says that? People who don't have an argument for a person who beats their girlfriend who's pregnant. I'm sorry, he's a domestic abuser. And look, I'm not glad he's dead, but I'm sure as shit not going to shed any tears. This guy had more money than I do. And guess what? I don't beat my girlfriends. You know? Oh, what? He was so hard done by, in that sports car, BMW that he had. But the most ironic thing that will come out of this death was he was gunned down. Where is the gun debate? Where is the protest for gun control? Where is Black Lives Matter marching through the street claiming that Black Lives Matter? Oh wait, he wasn't killed by a white person, so they don't care. Funny how that works, isn't it? And as for the gun debate, no, we won't see anything. We won't see David Hogg going on about it. We won't see any protests. We won't see any marches because this doesn't fit the agenda. Gun reform is all about removing assault weapons. Or semi-automatic weapons as what the real term actually is. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, is just that. They don't care about people who are gunned down in Chicago or whatever it may be with handguns. Not yet, anyway. When they got rid of the assault weapons, then they'll go for that. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Do you believe that we will actually see gun protests regarding gun reform? Do you believe this guy was a piece of shit? Do you think we should separate this guy from his music? Or are you sort of upset that he's dead, or are you happy that he's dead, or don't really care? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.